Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Lackawanna College, the People's Security Bank Theater. My name is Jim Cullen. I am the director of that very theater that I just mentioned. Thank you for coming to tonight's graduation ceremony, Hazleton Class 240, Honor, Integrity, and Courage. Before we begin, I ask if you have a cell phone or any electronic device that has the potential to make sound, if you would please silence it, as I just did. Thank you for abiding by our no food or drink policy in the theater. There's no restrictions on taking pictures. We just ask that you do it politely, and we are having the consummate photos taken by our two photographers over there, Heather and Chris, in that order, right? Give yourself a moment to make yourselves aware of the theater exits nearest you. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce the director of the Lackawanna College Police Academy, John Chilleri.
Good evening and welcome. I'd like to welcome all the friends, family, and supporters for coming here tonight and encouraging your cadets, and most importantly, supporting your cadets throughout this academy experience. The Lackawanna College Police Academy is just honored to have you here tonight. At this time, I would like to introduce our staff, or as I like to call them, the academy team that makes it all happen. Seated behind me is retired Chief of Police Robert Jolly from the Dallas Township Police Department. He's our newest team member and Assistant Academy Director. Our administrative assistants, who like to hide out in the audience out here, they don't like to get all the accolades. Diane Carey, Denise Boyle, and Lynn Mellon, who's absent tonight. I've been blessed with a team of dedicated individuals that do an incredible amount of the work to get the cadets from day one, asking how to apply to the academy, all the way to tonight's graduation. The academy staff puts in an incredible amount of hours to bring us to this very important night. I'd also like to introduce some of our instructors that are sitting out here in the audience. They represent federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies throughout the nation. Their experience and their knowledge is shared daily with your cadets. We're shaping the future leaders of law enforcement. Tonight's such a special evening for all of us because we get an opportunity to hear about some of the work they do, and now to turn to them and honor them and the great job they do. Our stage party here this evening, I'd like to introduce some of the people who are our biggest supporters and help us get this program to where it is at. First, I'd like to introduce John Raboskin. He is the Associate Vice President for Financial and Administrative Advancement. Mr. Dominic DeNaples, one of the Lackawanna College Board of Trustees. Greg Gagoric, another member of the Lackawanna College Board of Trustees and a friend of our academy. And as I've mentioned, Chief Robert Jolly. He's a retired chief of the Dallas Township Police Department, and again, one of our newest members of our academy team. Chief Al Walker from the Hanover Township Police Department and Vice President of the PA Chiefs Police Association. Also with us tonight is our chaplain, Chaplain Dennis DiAgostini from the Scranton Police Department. Tonight's activities are going to be videotaped, as well as pictures will be taken by our own Chris Hughes. Chris will be taking photos throughout the night, and he will be sharing them with the cadets after graduation. In addition to the graduating class, we also have 3 other classes operating at the same time at our Scranton and Hazleton campuses. Tonight we have representatives from the current classes of Class 241, 242, and 243 are here tonight supporting their fellow cadets as they graduate. I will now ask cadets of Class 241, 42, and 43 to please enter and take their places. Thank you, very well done. How about a round of applause for our cadets from Class 241, 242, 243. Now the time you've been waiting for, the ceremony to begin. Please join me in welcoming the graduating Class 240 as they enter the theater. I'll now ask all of our guests to please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Class Captain Andrew DeFrank, and the invocation will follow by the Scranton Police Department Chaplain Dennis DeAugustine.
Present all. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Order, all. Left, make.
I'll now ask my friend and Chaplain Dennis DeAugustine to please join us with the invocation.
Let us pray. God, we pray that you would be with these cadets who are graduating from the Police Academy tonight, class number 240. Lord, I pray primarily for safety, that you, God, would take care of them, take care of their loved ones, their families, keep them, protect them, sustain them. In the tradition of the Academy, Lord, we dedicate their training and graduation to fallen officer Daniel Earl Rice of the Bethlehem Police Department. We pray that you continue to give his family strength. I also pray for the cadets for courage, resolve, integrity, honor, and character. And finally, Lord, I want to take a moment on behalf of these graduates to thank you for the journey so far and to entrust to you whatever is next in their life. Thank you, Lord, for everyone that has supported them and for being an amazing Savior. It's all for your glory. It's in your name we ask this. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. Cadets will now undergo their final inspection as a class. The Academy is a paramilitary organization, just as police departments are. We require uniforms, we conduct inspections, perform drill and ceremony activities, and have a command structure. The cadets wear their Class A uniforms for this graduation. The final inspection will be conducted by a member of our Lackawanna College Board of Trustees, Dominic DeNaples, who is a veteran of the United States Army, a member of the College Board of Trustees, and a true friend to our police academy. He is assisted tonight by Ashley Borough and Farview Township Officer Sean McCall. Sean is also a specialist in the Alpha Battery of the 109th Field Artillery, PA National Guard. Sean is a newcomer as one of our staff. He's one of our staff assistants, and he will be handling drill and ceremony and scenario activities as one of our assistants. Officer McCall, please take command of Class 240. Mr. DeNaples?
Director Lowry, I return to you Class 240. This class is well and duly prepared.
Thank you, Mr. Naples. Officer McCall, please take command of Class 240.
Hey! Forward, heart!
Nice, very nice, sir.
Hey, seat!
How about another round of applause for Class 240 and our great staff? Thank you. None of what we do here would happen without the support of a lot of people, including yourselves. We're now going to hear from one of the members of the Board of Trustees. He is a great supporter of the Lackawanna College Police Academy and many other community organizations. I've only known him a short period of time. And you know, you often hear people say they'd like to help when someone needs a hand or when someone sees a problem. Oftentimes you hear people say, I really would like to help. Then there are those people who take action. Our speaker tonight, Greg Gregoric, is one of those people. When he sees a problem, or you see that someone needs a hand, he's there for us and for a lot of different organizations. Greg is just that person. He steps up when most others just say, I'll be there someday to help. With no further delay, our friend, Greg Gregoric.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of President Volk and the Board of Trustees, I'd like to recognize the hard work and sacrifices made by these outstanding cadets and extend my congratulations to Class 240 and their family and friends here to support them. Since 1894, Lackawanna College's dedication to helping change lives and serving our community has been at the core of everything the college does. Our mission to provide a quality, affordable education to all persons seeking to improve their lives and to better serve the communities in which they live, and prepare our students to succeed in today's workforce. For 41 years, this police academy has been an integral part of the college and helps play a vital role in achieving its mission. Cadets, tonight, you will hear from professionals within the law enforcement field. As a businessman, I wanted to offer you an outside perspective on the values of honor, integrity, and courage, which have been impressed upon you here at the Academy, and the journey which you are about to begin in that noble profession. You see, what unites all of us here in this room and all of our businesses in our community, and our residents and our police departments, is to have safe and successful and vibrant neighborhoods, to have a place to call home, to raise family, and to pass on our values and our traditions. We are all brought together to serve each other in one capacity or another, and to give back to the community however and wherever and whenever we can. I promise you, cadets, that the values of community service which have been ingrained upon you here at this academy will serve you well in the years to come and will help keep you grounded as you move forward in your careers. You know, running a successful business and performing the duties of a law enforcement officer actually have a lot in common. Neither are easy, and both require a serious dedication to your values and principles. You will have good days, and cadets, you're going to have bad ones. You will be tested by others who do not always share your values or your ethics. You will be faced with situations which will challenge your beliefs and your morals to the core. My humble advice to you is very simple. No matter what difficulty you face in the future, just stay true to your core values and just keep grounded. Class 240, you have completed one of the finest law enforcement training programs in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and have learned the meaning of mission and service before self. As you face the challenges of tomorrow, I want you to know that we truly respect and appreciate your dedication and service to our community. And as you prepare to begin your tour of duty, please remember to always do so with honor, integrity, and courage. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Really appreciate that. Here at the Academy, as you heard me say earlier, that it is operated on a paramilitary structure. And you know, it really doesn't matter how large of a department or how small of a department that the cadets go to work for. It is essential that there is discipline and a code that they operate by. And that's something that we instill in them. One of the things that we do is we establish a chain of command. And that is only established after the group as a unit, because that's just what they are when they walk through the front door, a group. And once they establish themselves as a unit, working together to accomplish something, then and only then do we form a chain of command. The chain of command is selected by myself with the input from instructors and the staff. This is part of the cadets' training to introduce them to the organizational structure of a police department. With the chain of command, we emphasize communication, organization, discipline, and a code of conduct. The chain of command for Class 240, and I ask you to please stand. Captain DeFrank. Lieutenant Sajone. Sergeant Hannon. Sergeant McGinnis. And Sergeant Ware. There it stands before you, the chain of command, Class 240. These are the individuals that led this class through 919 hours. Prior to this class starting, the curriculum consisted of 720 hours. Huge expansion on the curriculum. Almost daily, correct, boys and girls? Boys? Very proud of this class. Take your seats. They did a wonderful job, and so did the chain of command. I now will ask Captain DeFrank, please step forward. Part of our program, we asked the captain to make a few remarks about the class and some of the activities they did, along with some information about some of the instructors. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As a representative of Class 240, I would like to thank all friends, family, and distinguished military and law enforcement guests for attending this special event. Everyone in attendance this evening has played an important role in us successfully completing this event, or this academy, and for that we thank you. Each cadet on stage has dedicated close to 1,000 hours in the past 6 months to their training, and we could not have done it without all of you. Tonight, we are recognizing this great accomplishment, but also recognizing that this is only the beginning in what will hopefully be a long and successful career in law enforcement. We would like to thank all Academy staff, and Class 240 would specifically like to honor one instructor who went above and beyond to ensure all 18 of us completed successfully. He dedicated much of his free time to be there for us, and for that, we would like to present this Instructor Award to Mr. John Leonard. In closing, I would again like to thank everyone for coming out tonight and enjoy your celebrations.
Congratulations, John. Well deserved. Just a few words about John. In the last few months, actually last year, we went through a great deal of transition. A dear friend of mine and our past director, Marianne Grippo, at age 51, died unexpectedly. Marianne was a mentor to many of us. I was involved in I was in my 21st year of a career in law enforcement, and the opportunity came to step up. John was one of the individuals who encouraged me to do that by his actions. So we went through a great deal of transition, and John stepped up to the plate and made himself available to make sure that a lot of things went and happened the right way. And I just wanted to personally thank you for that, John. Tonight's guest speaker, I met quite a few years ago, and I selected him long before I actually knew he was going to become a new staff member and my assistant. Tonight's speaker is retired Chief of Police from Dallas Township, Bob Jolly. As I said, Bob is one of our newest staff members. I think he just found out today. That's right. So we're happy to bring Bob on board. A little bit about Bob. As I said, he was the Chief of Police of Dallas Township for 14 years and was a police officer for 42 years. Graduate, Penn State University. A graduate of the Federal Bureau of Investigation National Law Enforcement Academy, the 228th session. I've always considered Bob as a mentor of mine. And when I took over as director, one of the very first things I did was welcome Bob into my office, and I said, Bob, I'm going to need your counsel and advice. And he has always graciously stepped up, and I do apologize to his family, because it is I who am calling you at all hours of the night, seeking Bob's input on the things that we do at the Academy. Bob is presently a doctoral student at California University of Pennsylvania in hopes of completing that. He's a board member of the Pennsylvania Law Enforcement Accreditation Commission of the Pennsylvania Chiefs of Police. Dallas Township holds the honorable distinction of being one of the first accredited law enforcement agencies. Under Bob's command, they were one of the first accredited law enforcement agencies in Northeast Pennsylvania. It is my honor and my privilege to introduce my partner, Bob Jolly.
If anybody took that down, that would probably be a great obit, but friends, it's an honor and a privilege to speak to Class 240 of the Lackawanna Police Academy. I know most graduation speakers start off with similar comments, but let me tell you why this is such an honor for me. I've served as an instructor at the Police Academy for some time. Some students from previous classes have gone on to enjoy very successful careers with municipal police departments. A few with the Pennsylvania State Police, and others have moved out of state. Some have taken positions with federal law enforcement. I mention that not to take credit for their success, but to point out what their dedication and what a good job this academy does preparing students for their law enforcement careers. Today I'm not going to talk to you about your duty or your mission or the dangers you'll face. I'm not going to talk to you about the media or the current political environment for police officers. You got to experience a little bit of that political environment today. I'm sure those topics you've discussed with your classmates, with your family, with your close friends. Today I'm going to give you some advice on building a long, successful career and the importance of building relationships. Sir Robert Peel is often referred to as the father of modern policing. When forming the Metropolitan Police Force in London in 1829, he said this: "The police are the public, and the public are the police. The police being only members of the public who are paid to give full-time attention to the duties which are incumbent on every citizen in the interest of community welfare and existence." That statement made almost 200 years ago is still applicable today. To better understand modern law enforcement, it helps to take a look back at our profession from a historical perspective. There was a time when there were no organized law enforcement agencies. Everyone in the community shared responsibility for enforcing the laws. It was not complicated. There was basically two laws that were enforced: murder and theft. If you witnessed a theft or a murder, you sent up the hue and cry, and everyone within earshot dropped what they were doing to help catch the lawbreaker. One day someone got the idea that people should take turns being on watch so everyone could sleep at night. After a while, someone thought, wouldn't it be great if we all chipped in and paid a few people so the rest of us could sleep at night and just focus on doing our work during the day? However, everyone was still expected to drop everything and help when needed. It's everyone's responsibility to observe and keep the law. It's just our job to do it full time. To paraphrase Sir Robert, the people are the police, and the police are the people. We come from 200 years ago to a presidential task force on 21st century policing, published in 2015. That commission was chaired by now retired Commissioner Ramsey of the Philadelphia Police Department and made several recommendations to change the culture of policing as we moved into the future. But that task force also looked to history for guidance and direction, and I quote, "In a republic that honors the core of democracy, the greatest amount of power is given to those called guardians. Only those with the most impeccable character are chosen to bear the responsibility of protecting the democracy." Those informative, moving words were spoken by Plato. Guardians. The final report calls for law enforcement to be guardians, to protect the dignity and human rights, and to be the protectors and champions of the Constitution. When I first began my law enforcement career, and I know you're probably wondering if I can still remember that, but I assure you I can. I had the good fortune to make the acquaintance of a gentleman by the name of Dominic DeMacy. He made a career of the Wilkes-Barre City Police Department, having served in various positions and retired as a detective. He congratulated me on my graduation from the Police Academy and shared with me what he felt was important to a long and successful career. He admonished me to wear the badge on my hat and not my head. To treat everyone I came in contact with the same way I would want my family treated. He further explained that that included people that simply needed my aid or assistance and people that I would be arresting. He carefully inspected my new, clean, pressed uniform and made reference to the equipment on my duty belt. He said there was one more thing that I should take to work with me. I was sure it was some type of new police equipment, but that was not the case. He went on to explain that what I needed was truth. To tell it even when it could make me or others look bad, and to look for it as I was conducting investigations. He ended with, if you follow what I've shared with you, it will become your brand. How people come to know you and will follow you with a long and successful career. It took a few years to completely understand what Detective DeMacy shared with me, but 40+ years later, I found the message to be so impressive, I'm sharing it with you this evening. Every day, you are building your personal brand, your personal and professional reputation. Your personal brand also represents your department's brand. Every day, you have the opportunity to build up your brand or tear it down. With every person you interact, whether good or bad, every person you meet will tell at least 5 other people about his or her experience with you. By the end of a workday, you will have spread your reputation to dozens of people, either positively or negatively. Some of these impressions will follow you the rest of your career. That being said, sometimes you're going to mess up. You're going to make mistakes. When that happens, learn from those mistakes and don't make the same ones twice. Your career is a lot like being on the firearms range. When the hammer falls, don't look at the target. That round is gone. Focus on the next shot. If you spend too much time looking at the rounds you throw out or worrying about the mistakes you've made, you may never reach your goal or hit your target. To build relationships, you must first build trust, not just with your coworkers and supervisors, but with the people in the community. There are at least 6 steps to building and maintaining trust. The first step, communications, but communicating the truth. The very words Detective DeMacy told me when I first started my career. Give honest feedback. Be candid about how you see things. I have a challenge for you. Drop the sarcasm. It's easier said than done, and it's important for people to know what you say is true. If you have a habit of using a lot of sarcasm, people have to wonder if you're serious. Develop a reputation for saying what you mean. The second step is support. Be available and approachable. Provide help, advice, coaching, and support for other team members. Look for ways to help other people be successful. Instead of being self-oriented, be others-oriented. By focusing on others instead of yourself, you'll make the team more successful. If you help the team be successful, you get to be successful yourself, because you are, in fact, an important member of the team. The third step is respect. Actively listen to the ideas of others. Listen to understand rather than to oppose. When someone is talking, listen to what they're saying instead of thinking about what you're going to say when they stop talking. Consider that someone else's idea might be as good as yours or better. Consider you might be wrong. Consider whether you could both be right. Just because you're right doesn't mean the other person is wrong. Don't become so fixated on winning an argument that you forget about solving problems. The fourth step is fairness, not only with your citizens, but with your teammates. Be quick to give credit and recognition to those who deserve it. Remember, the best way to gain power is to give it away. Give others the credit for your team's accomplishments. Your teammates will know what your part was. If you did a good job, let your teammates talk about it. The fifth step is consistency. Be consistent and predictable in your daily affairs. Consistency is akin to integrity. We have to be the same all the way through, all the time. Would you return to a restaurant where the food is only good on every 3rd or 4th visit? I think not. Would you want a partner that is only on his or her A game every 3rd or 4th day? Be consistent and on your A game every day. The last step is competence. Enhance your credibility by demonstrating good sense, technical ability, and professionalism. To be successful, you must always strive to learn and improve. Basic police school is exactly what it says, basic police school. Read, study, go to specialized training, learn and practice new tactics, earn a degree. Pay attention to yourself physically. Work out, run, eat sensibly, take care of your body. Be better prepared than the other person, the one that you're going to meet one day in head-to-head combat. You can bet that right now, he or she is preparing for that day. Never be satisfied that you know enough or are good enough. Be a leader. Remember, the leader's not always the boss, and the boss is not always the leader. The leader is one that sets the example that others follow. I expect you to leave here today and go out and build relationships within your department and the community you serve. Everything you do reflects not only on you, your personal brand, but on your family, your department, this academy, and the law enforcement profession as a whole. Keep in mind, it's not us against the community. We are part of the communities that we serve. Guardians, or as I like to say, the people are the police, and the police are the people. Be a guardian of the people, for the people, by the people. Good luck.
I'm certain I made the right choice in selecting an assistant director. As I said, Bob has always been there for me and for the cadets and for the other instructors to lend guidance. And we are honored to have him on board. The next portion of our program, what we titled it as the Class Awards. And before we go further with the awards, I'd like to say that all of them, all of our cadets have succeeded. They came in as civilians and they leave as professional law enforcement officers. I took this job in February of this year. And several of my colleagues asked me a simple question. They said, "Your department chief retired, why not chief of police? Why not become the chief?" And I gave it some thought about applying for chief. And I gave it some more thought, discussed it with many people. And I came to a conclusion. As chief, I would become the king of that department. But as of the director of the academy, I can become the kingmaker. And I personally believe that many of these cadets that are sitting here as graduates tonight will be coming back and telling me, "I'm doing what I love. I've succeeded." So in my mind, they all are winners. All of them are a success. And the reward? It's the reward to the communities that they serve. It's an honor for the citizens. Citizens, should I say, should be honored to have them in service. The awards we give out tonight, the cadets do not know until this moment who the recipient is. And the first award that we will be giving out is the Driver's Proficiency Award. It's sponsored by the Pennsylvania Chiefs of Police, and I will ask Chief Al Walker to join me in presenting this award. The Driver's Proficiency Award will be presented to Andrew Jones. The next award is the Handgun Proficiency Award. The new training program has extended the number of hours that officers will serve or will train with weapons. It's not only the act of pulling the trigger that makes you a success. It's understanding the appropriate and proper use of force. This award is sponsored by the NEPA, Northeast Pennsylvania Chiefs of Police Association. And again, Chief Walker is going to join me on stage with presenting this award. The Handgun Proficiency Award is awarded to Brandon Toto. The Pennsylvania Municipal Police Officers Basic Training Curriculum, as you heard me say earlier, consisted of 720 hours and now has moved to 919. There are 27 exams, and as the cadets know, at any given point, based on the scores and where they are at, they can be dismissed from the program. It is a rigorous program. Requires dedication and a great deal of study in order to be successful. The next award is the highest Scholastic Award. This is the highest average of all the courses combined, of all the testing that they've done throughout the program. I'm going to ask my partner, Chief Jolly, to step up to assist in presenting this award. The highest Scholastic Award is presented to, again, Brandon Toto. The next award is an example of the collaboration between our academy and local law enforcement agencies and Pennsylvania State Police. This award is for Trooper Joshua D. Miller Fitness Award, Physical Fitness Award. The recipient is chosen based on the combination score of the physical fitness requirements for this academy. By way of history, Trooper Miller was killed in the line of duty in June of 2009 when he and his partner, Corporal Robert Lombardo, were shot by a man who had kidnapped his 9-year-old son. The troopers cornered the man on the roadway, and in the course of saving the child, Trooper Miller was killed, and Corporal Lombardo was shot and wounded. Trooper Miller was a graduate of our academy prior to entering the Pennsylvania State Police Academy. He was an avid runner, and each year the Tri-State Troopers Association, State Troopers Association, has hosted a fundraiser, 5K in his name. In the past, our cadets have assisted with that run. This award is presented to the individual who has excelled in the physical fitness area. I'm going to ask my friend, and which I consider another partner of mine, Chief Kenick Zaposky, to step forward. Ken has been a friend to our academy and has been an active instructor. Tonight I've asked Ken to join us on stage because he has been one of my biggest supporters and helpers in the academy. As I said, we went through a lot of transition and he was there for us as we went forward. He's currently the chief of the Mahanoy City Police Department, and he's the Academy Associate Director of Physical Training. Tonight's award, y'all ready? Take a good look. Who do you think won? Cadet Adam Sajone. How about a round of applause for all of our award winners? The time we've all been waiting for. I apologize, there's one additional award. The next award is called the Senior Officer Eric Williams Spirit of Distinction Award. Each year, Hazleton class selects one officer. And this is a little different, this award. This is the award that the class members decide who receives it. The recipient of this award is selected by his or her class as the cadet's most representative of Officers Williams' legacy of dedication, service, and honor to his profession and to his training at Lackawanna College Police Academy. Class 240 presents this award to Trevor Jeffers. Family of Eric Williams is here to assist in presenting the award. There's a quote by John Quincy Adams on here. It says, "If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader." And I think that says it best. Ms. Williams? Ma'am? Eric's family has graciously been providing this award to our Academy cadets in honor of Eric. And we are honored and very pleased to have them here tonight. Well, now comes the time where we will be presenting the certificates. Some of the cadets have decided or have selected someone that is close to them, or a member of law enforcement or the military who has set an example for them to assist in presenting the award or accepting their certificate. We will call each cadet up, and we will have if they've selected an individual to present their certificate with them, we'll stand for pictures. First, Thomas Bowden, presented by his uncle and retired captain of the South Plainfield Police Department. Andrew DeFrank. Presented by City of Bethlehem Police Chief Mark DeLuzio. Brandon McGinnis, presented by State Trooper and Army Sergeant Ronald Davis. Next is Trevor Jeffers, presented by retired First Lieutenant John Leonard of the Hazleton Police Department. Next is Jordan Pardini, presented by his brother, Pennsylvania State Police Liquor Control Enforcement Officer, Jay Kenick. Cadet Lateral Hannon, presented by retired First Lieutenant John Leonard of the Hazleton Police Department. Cadet Jordan Smith, presented by Mahanoy Chief of Police Ken Sapotsky. Cadet Andrew Jones, presented by his stepfather, Deputy Game Warden Chris Simcoe of the Pennsylvania Game Commission. Cadet Aaron Kohler, presented by Scott Township Patrolman Vincent Figueredo. Vince is also one of our lead instructors at the Hazleton campus. Tyler Smith, presented by U.S. Army Sergeant First Class Jason Reese. Brandon Toto, presented by retired First Lieutenant John Leonard of the Hazleton Police Department. That's how I feel. Cadet Kyle Weir, presented by his father, former U.S. Army Sergeant Stephen Weir. Nice. Cadet Adam Sajone, presented by retired Army Sergeant John, I don't want to butcher his name, Lowry. Sergeant, how do you pronounce your last name?
McGauley.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Sergeant.
Thank you.
Cadet Mahmud, presented by Corporal Michael Petruzzi of Stroud Regional Police. Retired First Lieutenant John Leonard of the Hazleton Police Department, and Tom Brown, Police Administrator for Maine Township Police Department. I think you should get one together and one with each of you. There you go. Nice. Cadet Taylor, presented by his grandfather, retired NYPD patrolman Michael Carini. Taylor, right? Cadet Ivan Nini, presented by his cousin, Patrolman Bradley Hess of Rush Township PD. How are you? Cadet Kistner, presented by Tom Brown, Police Administrator for Maine Township Police Department. Cadet Tim McHugh, presented by Patrolman Ryan Zielinski of Plymouth Police Department. The next certificate is a little bit different. Pennsylvania had started a program not all that long ago to offer a waiver to certain aspects or certain portions of the police academy training. This waiver is eligible to those who have military training where their skills can be utilized in law enforcement, and there is a crossover of skills between what they have done in the military and what they've done in law enforcement, or what they can do in law enforcement. Joshua Lowry. He received the same certification as someone who went through the 120 or the Police Academy program. This program was started because there was such an opportunity to utilize our military personnel as they are coming back and as they exit military service. So I'm honored to present this to Joshua Lowry. I have two of my friends here tonight. This is a new addition to our academy. It's a partnership that we formed with an organization called Never Forgotten Ride. The mission of this organization is dedicated to keeping the memory of our fallen heroes alive. Their mission also is to help police officers, firefighters, and other first responders. Because the road is not easy most of the time for us. And they've come up with a great program, and we are so happy to be partnered with them. I'm going to ask retired Sergeant, my camarada, Scranton police officer, Paul Stefersky, to join us on stage. This program that they started is just absolutely amazing. They've came to us and they said, we'd like to help the future cadets because we know the road's not easy when you're first getting started. And the cadets are not aware of this, and we kept it a secret. They're going to be presenting each cadet with a gift certificate to assist them in purchasing the much needed equipment that they will utilize on their career. The gift certificate, in the amount of $50, so that it can help them purchase equipment. How about a round of applause for these guys? Retired Sergeant Camerata and Officer Stefersky, I want to thank you for participating in this program with us. As I call the cadets, please step forward. Cadet Bowden. Cadet DeFrank. Cadet Hannon. Cadet Ivanini. Cadet Jeffers. Cadet Jones. Cadet Kistner. Cadet Kohler. Cadet Lowry. Cadet Mahmud. Cadet McHugh. Cadet McGinnis. Cadet Pardini. Cadet Sajone. Cadet Smith. Cadet Tyler Smith. Cadet Taylor. Cadet Toto. Cadet Weir.
Just in case.
How about a round of applause for Mike and oh, don't leave yet. I've known Mike a long time. Mike and Paul have stepped up. That organization is just wonderful to do this. Believe me, when you're getting started, and I'm sure for some of you who are already in law enforcement, you know what I'm saying. It seems like it just never ends, the expense, and this is just a little something that they wanted to do to help get them started. And I want to personally thank each of you. Thank you. Thank you. Great job, guys. Law enforcement is rich in tradition, and one of the traditions started by our past director was a fallen officer tribute. A little history on this. Each class is instructed to choose a fallen officer to whom they dedicate their training and graduation. This tradition underscores for the cadets the serious nature of the job and how important it is to perform their duties with honor not only for themselves, but for those they serve. It is an honor when they select this fallen officer to recognize the men, women, and canines who lay down their lives in this profession. The reality of this profession is that it can be dangerous. And there have been many good men, women, and canines whose lives have been lost while serving others. There's no greater honor than in service of others to others. As they select this fallen officer, the class, upon graduation, then becomes referred to as the name of the fallen officer. Class 240 has chosen Patrolman Daniel Earl Rice of the Bethlehem Police Department as their fallen officer. We have a plaque that was prepared in honor of Officer Rice. Plaque will have the members of each class, each member of the class. Chief Mark DeLuzio, still here? Retired Chief Jolly will present this plaque to Chief DeLuzio. How are you?
Thank you very much. My Deputy Chief, Todd Repsher.
Deputy Chief, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. Todd Repsher. We're honored to have them here tonight to accept this plaque. This plaque is very important. It represents our class that will now be known as Class Daniel Earl Rice. It is a way of honoring those officers and canines who have fallen in the line of duty. The next portion of our program is the presentation of the challenge coins. I'm going to ask retired Chief and my partner Bob Jolly, and Chief Ken Sapotsky to assist as I tell you a little history on the challenge coin. This is another tradition, the presentation of challenge coins that depicts the Academy logo, mission, honor, integrity. As the cadets receive these coins, the tradition of this coin dates back to the military and has been adopted by law enforcement and other agencies. There are many stories of the origins of this coin, but one of the common stories goes as such. During World War I, when a wealthy officer had bronze medallions marked with his flying squadron insignia to give his men, shortly afterwards, one of his men was shot down over Germany and captured. The Germans took everything on his person except a small leather pouch worn around his neck that contains the medallion. The coin was used to prove the man's identity and allow him to be returned to his unit. Today's challenge coin commemorates events of membership in various organizations. The coin they received tonight has the fallen officers department listed on it. Patrolman Daniel Earl Rice. I ask that these cadets keep this coin to remember their time at the Academy, but more importantly, to remember a fallen brother, Patrolman Daniel Rice, and remember the sacrifice he made in service of others. I now ask Chief Jolly, and Chief Sapotsky to hand out the coins. Thank you. The final portion of our program is something that was started by one of our past directors. It is to memorialize and recognize the fallen officer that each class selects. We call it the banner ceremony. The outgoing class captains will be presented with a banner that bears the name and department patch of their fallen officer. The outgoing captains will tie the banner on the Police Academy flag that stands at each academy's entrance. The flag is adorned with the streamers bearing the names of the fallen officers who have been honored by our class, by the classes since the tradition was started. The flag then stands as a reminder to each current and incoming cadet of those who have gone before them in the profession, so they can respect the importance and magnitude of the commitment that they are making to be of service to others. I'll ask the assistance of Chief Jolly, who will assist with honoring the officers of the fallen officers. cadet from the current class will be presenting to one of our incoming classes, or one of our current classes, the banner. As I stated, this banner will be tied to, be presented along with the banners of all of the fallen officers, and will remain as a reminder to all of us of the sacrifice that those have made. Thank you. Have your seats. I'd like to thank everyone, again, family, friends, colleagues, and wish Class 240 the greatest of success in your law enforcement careers. How about a round of applause for all of Class 240? The great job they did. Congratulations, gentlemen. You've made it. You've done a great job, and I am certain you will be great officers. Officer McCall, take command of this class for the last time.
Hey! Forward, march!
you're going to be up here all the time. Thank you. Okay. Thanks again.